that fact that a man can lactate is now being used to say this is how we should take care of our child. I don't think the logic follows, guys. All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Hit that like and subscribe. I would do it for you, and let's party. So this is a weird one, guys. This is a weird one. I'm not even sure how to feel about it. The degree of, dare I say, perversion from what is normal and what is natural never ceases to amaze me. Every time they take another step, you think it's going to be the last step. And then you get something like this. A transgender mother, which is a biological male, feeding a baby with milk that came from their nipples. This is a biological male. Like I said, I need your guys' help with this. I don't even know how to feel about it.
A video of a trans woman claiming to produce breast milk and then claiming to feed a baby with it is getting a lot of attention online. And it seems the general reaction from people on the right is shock that this is not possible, or that this is not milk, or that it's wrong. Now,
it certainly sounds wrong.
Whether or not you think it's wrong, that's entirely your opinion, right? It's up to you to decide the moral lines you adhere to. I'm not saying it's right.
I decide.
As to whether or not males can produce milk, not even a question. So let me break this down. There's a lot to go over here in terms of what's legal, the risks to the child, whether or not there could or would be intervention, and how you deal with this if you do find it morally wrong.
I told you this one was weird, guys. Just stick with me. I really need to hear your opinion.
First thing we should address is the science question. Is this milk? Yes. Here's the story from the Post Millennial. Transgender mother appears to feed newborn baby with milky substance he claims secreted from his nipples after taking hormones. Now, you can phrase it that way, but I don't think you need to. Induced lactation is a thing. It exists, and males can lactate. We know that. There are many males that lactate just because they do. Like some males do. It's rare. It's considered, I believe it's considered a disorder. Sometimes tumors can cause it. Hormonal imbalances can cause it. Or you can induce lactation in human mammals, be it male or female.
Yeah, I don't really know why we know that. And it is actually, I mean, I don't know if it's the same exact thing. Imagine it would be different, but, and then we're getting into the philosophical argument about what is milk. So for now, let's just say it's different.
Now, the milk produced by males is not the same as milk produced by females, but it is substantively the same thing. Now, there are a lot of questions about the hormonal components of that milk and whether or not it is safe for a baby to consume milk from males. We don't have a whole lot of research on that.
I gotta say, my first leaning without having any knowledge is that why wouldn't it? Like, it probably isn't going to have the same hormone profile as the mother, but the danger, if it's, I don't know. Would you assume that it would be naturally unhealthy for the child, or just not that it's not ideal? Again, guys, I need your help with this one, please. What do you guys think so far?
But there are a lot of questions around this pertaining to morality, cultural norms and standards, and legality. And I think I want to go through this story and break it down for you. And then we'll talk about legality, morality, and yes, in fact, I do believe there is a small percentage chance that in the future, this could become illegal. Now, I know the left is going to immediately come out and make the argument that I'm saying that a person who produces milk isn't legally, like it's an anti-trans thing. No. Look, parents have been arrested for feeding their children atypical things. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I don't know. I'm just saying it happens. You can ascribe morality where you see fit. I'm taking the academic approach on this story. Parents who fed their children a raw fruit diet went to jail. They were feeding their kids. Something that they ideologically believed the child should consume. The child became sick and died.
You can't give children raw fruit. Just in case you didn't know, they will die.
The parents went to jail. That's where I'm saying this could come into effect. Just because a male can induce lactation does not mean that that milk is actually going to be
Right.
substantive enough of a meal for the child, and in fact could contain hormones in improper balances and cause serious harm to the child.
So that's what I was saying, is that whether or not it's milk is one question, and whether or not it's healthy or not is another one. And I can't imagine. I can't imagine that it would be a good idea for a baby to try and survive merely on the milk that is produced by a biological man. And if you agree with that, you will definitely find a home at the Indian Jesus Discord server where the party never ends. That's right, 24/7 we are in there hanging out. And after every single live stream, we go in there for a panel discussion where you're not stuck behind your keyboard, but you are on screen, whether you want to cam up or not, with me and everybody else. It is a great time. Come and join us.
We don't know. If a vegan parent feeding their kid fruit, which is literal food, can go to prison, then yes, there is a reality that this person could as well. Just depends on what the state decides to do. Considering that this is an issue of transgender transition and things like that, I really doubt any politician, any DA is going to go after this individual.
Because it's part of this alphabet mafia stuff and all the sensitivities around that, we have to give them special treatment and not treat them as if they are, if it was just a man, a normal biological man who was lactating, then we would be all over this. Everybody's like, what the hell are you doing? You can't do that. But now that you bring the trans into it, special treatment.
Unless we can see real harm befall this child, which I do have the stories to back it up. You do not get to hide behind LGBTQ issues to feed your child atypical things.
Apparently, you do. Apparently, you can hide behind that for virtually anything.
If a baby needs to consume certain things and you do not give it those things or give it something else, you can be criminally charged.
Can be.
Again, I am not assigning morality or legality. I'm saying it has happened. And depending on jurisdiction, this person could go to prison for this.
What do you guys think? Let me know. Again, I need your help. I need your opinions. What do you think so far? Do you think this is something that could end up this trans mother in jail?
But I'll explain. All right. Post Millennial writes, trans TikTok user Nominal Naomi, who announced on the viral video site that he had begun taking drugs for the purpose of inducing lactation, had posted a new video of himself caring for a baby and feeding that baby with a bottle filled with what he claims to be breast milk.
Oh, hell
Nominal Naomi
no.
referred to this as cow achievement and claimed to TikTok viewers that he was going to be a mother, that it was in the works. The thing I often see about the trans issues is that they take a relatively derisive view of femininity, like cow achievement. Perhaps there are females who call themselves cows. Typically, it's an insult.
Yeah, that's a whole other discussion around this stuff. But the entire notion around being a trans person, is stereotypes. What are the stereotypes of women? I'm going to appropriate those and call myself a woman. Now, if society wants to be okay with that, I personally am not against people transitioning. When we get into, women-only spaces, we all know that's a whole other conversation as well. But that is what it is.
But, whatever. You do you.
Yeah.
Queer joy, said Nominal Naomi, showing pictures of an infant being fed the secretion from his male body. Look,
Haram.
You can call it trans male milk. Men can lactate. They can. Like as I mentioned, there are men who will start getting leaky nipples and go to the doctor and they'll say you have a hormone imbalance that's causing you to lactate. It happens to guys.
I play the laugh button, but it is not, it is a real thing that men have to deal with. And that fact that a man can lactate is now being used to say, this is how we should take care of our child. I don't think the logic follows, guys. I don't think the logic follows.
It was only a few days ago that the Post Millennial revealed motherhood plans of PhD student Nominal Naomi. Much as it turns out, to Nominal Naomi's dismay, in response to a report from the Post Millennial, Nominal Naomi tweeted about his plans to nurse a baby where
Of course. There's a PhD. I got a PhD.
the baby came from is unclear. Okay.
Where the baby came from is unclear, because even though we're talking about the baby's mother, we have no idea where the baby came from.
Okay, come on. Let's just slow down here. Post Millennial. You can be morally opposed to this, and I think that's fair, but you got to unload the description of this. We know the baby was adopted. We know that males lactate. And it seems like because of the Post Millennial writer's disgust and disagreement with this, Libby, of course, not surprised. Libby, I think it's fair to say that you find disgust in this, and I can understand that perspective. It's coming out in the writing. But, look, by all means, you write as you see fit. Just finished my morning pumping, Nominal Naomi said on Twitter, and I can confirm to you that it is indeed breast milk. I can cite peer-reviewed journal articles about lactation in trans women, but they might be too hard for you to read because your Post-Millennial is written at an elementary school level.
Ooh, big brain take there.
Yeah, look, if you can't convey an idea to the average person, you can't convey the idea. If you need to use special language to convey an idea and people can't understand it, then you can't actually convey that idea. Bingo! Because it's actually quite simple. I can convey it very simply for the average person. There are a few different hormones that can block testosterone and stimulate breast milk production. Women naturally produce these hormones when they become pregnant. Men can artificially induce lactation by consuming these hormones. Actually, quite simple. Here we go. Let's read some more. There are some links. Nominal Naomi cites reports from medical libraries showing that men who believe themselves to be women have taken excessive amounts of drugs in the past to fuel lactation, despite not being female or mothers. The male cited in one article is advised to induce lactation despite also being prescribed clonazepam, zolpidem, and oral estradiol. To this regimen, drugs to induce lactation were added, notably domperidone, estradiol, and progesterone. I may be pronouncing that. Is it estradiol?
Listen to the lengths this person is going to enable a delusion. They're ingesting all of these drugs to be able to breastfeed the child, which may not be healthy, which may not be legal, and certainly isn't natural. For what? For the baby? For ego, for clicks, for all of that. We cannot have a society based on clicks. Well, I mean, I guess we can because we do, but it's not going to last long.
These drugs were used to mimic pregnancy. The only reason for this course of action is vanity and narcissism, not the health of the child. Another article cited by Nominal Naomi states that breastfeeding in trans women has been greatly under-researched.
Under-researched? Well, why do you think that is? You know what else is under-researched? How many licks it'll take to get through the bottom of this mug. We need more research on that. Do we, though? Maybe. Some things are better left unknown.
And there, my friends, is the admission. This may result in criminal charges. I think it's highly, highly, highly unlikely. I am not saying there should be criminal charges. I am saying it is possible.
Do you think there should be criminal charges? Do you think there will be criminal charges? Again, I need your guys. I just saw this and I was like, I need your guys' help with this.
Quote, despite the continuous growth of the transgender population, the article states, without giving any indication as to why a growing number of people would determine they would prefer to be the opposite sex, there remain several barriers to quality healthcare for these patients, including stigmatization, as well as a lack of provider knowledge and experience in treating this population. The use of language surrounding fertility and breastfeeding remains heterogendered, meaning that people who breastfeed are assumed to be straight and identify as women. This minimizes the experience of people outside of society's binary classification of gender. The use of misgendering language has a negative impact on mental health, self-esteem.
Yeah. And on and on and on. So you guys get the point. Definitely go check out the full video to get the full context. But just, that's pretty much the story. What do you guys think about that? Is that, okay, so let's go on a couple of different levels. Is that something that is morally okay? Is that something that is healthy for the baby? Is that something that is legal? And is that something that we should be celebrating? Should we be celebrating this? Because that's what not in the Post Millennial, but certainly elsewhere, and definitely in the TikTok comments, Naomi is being celebrated to no end. So let me know what you guys think. Again, I definitely need you in the comments for this one. Once again, this is Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Special treat for you. Put the secret word in the comments below to get a shout out in the next video. The secret word is going to be mother, like this person pretending to be. Put the secret word in the comments below and you can get a shout out in the very next video. Until then, guys, we are out of here. Peace.